So this week is viewer submitted question week, and I thought it'd be super fun to make a new intro for that, but no. So it's actually two questions that were asked to me on my Facebook by a guy who lives in Louisiana, who I worked with a bunch of years ago on a web series that we were shooting down there. Hey Judd, thanks for the question. So basically Judd asks, how does a creative explain the price for their services? And how do you add value to your product that justifies the tab? They're pretty intertwined and they play off each other, but I'm gonna tackle them separately. Number one, how does a creative explain the price for their service? And this is a hard one because there is no roadmap. The pricing is wildly varied across creative fields in general, but even if we're just talking photographers, whether it's retail or commercial or advertising or whatever, there's no by the book. And when you're asked to explain your price, you can easily become defensive and abrasive, or you can also start sounding arrogant because you're being challenged by someone. And let's face it, nobody likes that. So it's good to practice this stuff before the phone even starts ringing. There's a couple of schools of thought. The first is, and you will see this on every photographer's forum or Facebook group or whatever, and that is, this is how you explain your pricing. You explain to the client that you have $20,000 worth of camera gear, and you went to school at this prestigious institute for your photography degree, which cost you $180,000. And you've got a studio that costs you $3,000 a month, and your insurance bill is whatever. You factored all those things in, and this is why you charge what you do. And then there's the whole, I've been doing this for X number of years, and so you're paying for my expertise. It makes sense to you because you're simply showing that you've invested money and time into what you do, and therefore they should invest money in you. It's very analytical and it's very well thought out. It's all true and it's perfectly rational. It's just no client wants to hear that. So when I'm asked to explain why I charge what I do, I have found it better to answer this question a little more abstractly. Not exactly this phrasing, but something to the extent of, I understand it's not for everybody, but I charge what I do because I'm not just running around and pushing the button. I'm offering peace of mind in that I'm going to deliver exactly what you need. I'm going to hold your hand through the process, and I'm going to make sure that everything works out just the way you want it. See, not abrasive at all, quite soft. And hopefully after saying something like that, the prospective client now understands that there's more involved in my pricing than just click and the studio. Not everyone wants the white glove service though. Some clients don't give a rat's ass. They want you to just push the button and move on. So on the flip side, you could be the photographer who explains your price by saying, I come in, I take your pictures, I deliver them in the afternoon, no questions asked. Both are very viable options. Most importantly is be confident and be understanding of who your client is. And then know that you will not win every contract. Second question is easier. How do you add value to justify your tab? Well, you don't get to decide what value is. That's up to your client. And you don't necessarily need to add more to justify your price. What you really need to do is find more of those clients that see that value and then sell more of what you do to them. But I digress. In addition to understanding who your client is, you should also be aware that the value of a single photograph is different depending on who is using it and what they're using it for. And when you get that information, it becomes your job to try to figure out how valuable that assignment is. Or rather, how much money the client is willing to spend with you on that assignment. The exact same picture of a cookie for the local bakery down the street and for an international baking sensation, herein referred to as IBS, are priced completely differently. The price I charge the little startup bakery is much, much, much less than the price I charge the IBS. Because the IBS has a lot more money riding on the project. And therefore, my product and what I do immediately has more value, i.e. it's worth more money. See where you're going though, Judd? And I think the answer I can give you is what you can do to set yourself apart is, again, add a level of understanding. I used to think that to be more valuable to my clients, aka earn more money, I needed better gear, more lighting options, and or better technique. And yes, gear and options and technique are very important and can definitely add to what you charge. But the fact was, what I really needed was a better understanding of how businesses of all shapes and sizes are run and how they make money. For the most part, nobody gives a shit if I'm on set and I pull out an entry-level DSR or a giant medium format camera. They're not gonna think, that's why we paid the big bucks. What they value and what they care about is, do I understand the images that they need? And can I make it happen for them effectively and efficiently with the understanding of the big picture and what's riding on this project? So here's the value I bring to the table. And here's how I justify my tabs. Again, not verbatim, but something to the extent of, I'm going to ask the right questions and I'm going to do all of the research. And I'm going to make sure that the images we make together are going to fill the image void that you have. I understand what your company does and how much money you stand to make from this ad and the amount of risk you're taking on by doing this. And I'm going to take away as much risk as possible in my arena. Me and my team and the agency and whoever else is involved, we're experts in this. And we're going to steer you in the right direction and deliver you a product that makes you more money. Because that's what it comes down to 94% of the time. Can they make more money with what they're paying you to do? Now, the better I am at all that, and the quicker and the more effective I can deliver my product, the more I can charge, theoretically. And hopefully my reputation starts to carry throughout the ethos and more prospective clients will hear about the care that I give and they'll start to think, we need that guy. He gets his clients. It's important to stick to your guns and build an audience of clients that will mesh well with you. Market to the people that fit with what you want to be. And you'll end up doing a lot less justifying on your pricing. Not every client is your client. Like it, comment on it, subscribe to it, and I'll see you next week.